Positive Young Women Voices is a community-based organization whose goal is to humanize adolescent girls and young women in their diversities. PYWV is implementing the We Lead project that is building the capacities of rights holders to champion, influence, and advocate for their sexual reproductive health and rights. Through this project, we will be engaging right holders in 5 TV shows in partnership with 36 TV Dandora. We invite you to listen, watch, interact, and engage with us as we create a community that is supportive of right holders' sexual reproductive health and rights.
Good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon, my viewers. Welcome to 36 TV Dandora, to our program, which is under SRHR. Nataka to introduce my audience so that we get to know each other. Ndo tusikwe tunaitana we ama nani pitisha your mic or so. So we start from here and we get to know your name.
Good evening. I'm Berry Lwafula. I'm a volunteer here at Positive Young Women Voices. We work with young women and young girls here in Dandora. We amplify their voices in terms of their sexual reproductive rights and health. So under We Lead, we are also amplifying their voices by educating and empowering them about their sexual reproductives and rights. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dina Osilu, PYWV right holder, and I'm happy to be at PYWV.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Buchira. I'm a board member at Positive Young Women Voices and also a rights holder under We Lead project.
So, karibuni nyinyi wote to this program of today, which we'll be talking about HIV and AIDS among adolescent girls and young women. So, tunaweza by identifying or saying what is HIV and AIDS, though it's kind of common, ni kitu yenye kila mtu anajua, but maybe you have more detailed about HIV and AIDS. Inaweza tuambia into details what they...
Actually, HIV and AIDS, according to my knowledge, is a virus that attacks the human body system. Yes, in simple terms, it is a virus that affects the human body system, like the white blood cells. Yes.
That's how opinion. Yeah.
Okay, HIV and AIDS, it's a virus that attacks the white blood cells of that are in the human body. Yeah.
Also, the word HIV, it has been abbreviated into smaller words. So in full, it's human immunodeficiency virus. So it's a virus. Yeah.
So to the next question, after identifying what it is, since tumesema it's a virus, how is it transmitted? This virus inakuwa transmitted aje?
So for so many years, HIV has been transmitted. First of all, when you have intercourse with somebody who is infected and you don't use protection, protection in terms of condoms, you don't use PrEP, you don't use PEP, so you'll get the virus will be transmitted into your body through the semen. Yeah, the fluids. The fluids are the ones that have the virus, so you'll be transmitted to it. Yeah.
Another way in which HIV is transmitted in this generation, it is through the illicit drug injection. Kuna youth wengi hapo nje, they use drug, the syringe one, so they keep on sharing the syringe, which is easy to transmit the disease. That includes even the cutting of needles, sharing of the cutting needles. Yeah.
HIV and AIDS can also be transmitted through breastfeeding. And in fact, a positive living mother who is breastfeeding can also transmit to the baby if they don't use the prophylaxis for the kid to prevent the baby from getting infected. Yes.
Maybe we can also get a question from you, like when you talk about the breastfeeding, tuseme, for example, I'm the person who has the virus, for example, that is, yes. And then niko hiyo time I gave birth and then it's time to breastfeed na sitaki mtoto wangu apate the virus, so how am I supposed to go through about it?
First of all, if you are HIV positive woman and you get pregnant, you're supposed to start the antenatal clinic as early as possible so that the healthcare providers can direct you, they can guide you throughout the pregnancy. You'll be put on treatment on the care, IRT care. They'll guide you. You'll have to adhere to your medication, and if you have good adherence, you'll become undetectable. Undetectable means the virus in your body will be low. They won't be multiplying because you are adhering to your medication. And if you become undetectable, it means you won't be able to transmit during the HIV virus to the baby during delivery. Yes, and then after delivery, the baby is given prophylaxis. There's a prophylaxis for the babies. It is administered throughout the period of breastfeeding. So as long as you are breastfeeding and you are HIV positive, you're supposed to give your baby the prophylaxis, and that one will prevent the baby from getting infected. And you also have to adhere very well to your medication so that you remain undetectable to prevent infecting your baby.
Now, after I get that, all that information, excuse me for a minute. After I get all that information, where am I supposed to go to get that help? Because kuna watu pale nje, there are people who view, ama kuna watu wenye wanatuona, they're getting the information, but they do not know where to go and get that help.
Any health facility, they'll guide you. Any health facility, they have that information. They'll provide you with that information. They'll guide you. And let's say, for example, you are pregnant and you don't even know your HIV status. When you go to the health facilities to start your ANC clinic, the healthcare provider will advise you, will ask you if you know your status, and if you don't know your status, they'll tell you the importance of knowing your status. And then you'll give consent whether to get tested or not. And if you get tested, now after you get to know your status, if you turn out positive, now they'll give you all the information. They'll put you on treatment, they'll put you on care, and you'll start your treatment immediately. Yes.
Actually, I wanted to add a point on another way of AIDS transmission, which is through blood transfusion. Like most of the people, unaweza amka asubuhi like you're okay, but the moment you get into an accident, the blood exchange in the accident, that also can also transmit the HIV disease. Yeah.
We talked about the fluids. Yeah. Right? Transmission via the fluids and all that. Kuna watu wanajiuliza hizi fluids ni fluids gani, ni mate, ni nini? What kind of fluids are you talking about?
Okay, so for the fluids, we have the semen. The semen that comes when a man ejaculates, the semen comes first and then the sperms come later. So the virus, it's not in the sperm. The virus is in the semen. Yeah.
That is for the men, right? What about for the woman? Because in this case, it might be the lady who is positive, right? Mm-hmm. So what about?
Okay, for the women, the virus is in the vaginal fluids. Yes, the vaginal fluids and the blood. The virus is not in the saliva. Yeah, and the sweat. No, you can't get the virus through sweat or through kissing, because the virus is not in the saliva. Because science shows that for you to get infected with HIV through saliva, it has to be a huge amount of saliva. And I don't think through kissing you can transfer even up to 1 liter of saliva. Yes, so you can't get HIV infection through unless you have a wound, an open wound, and your partner has a wound and he or she is infected. That way you can get infected. Yes.
So now that you have touched on the partners, right? So how, okay, I know this sounds a little bit weird, but how many times should a partner get tested if you guys want to get something? Or inafaa kuwa before you start? Ukianza dating, it's okay.
I think if you're starting a relationship, I believe you should go testing before you start engaging in the sexual activity. Yes.
According to my opinion, if you're getting into a relationship and you guys are serious, like you love each other, like you should go get tested. That is the first thing, so that even before you guys get into sexual contact, you know each other's status. Yeah.
Yeah, they have answered all. Before having intercourse, you should get tested, and then let it not be the last time that you are testing. It should be a regular thing that you do. After 3 months, you go get tested. You know, you can't trust anyone. Yeah, and you can seroconvert anytime. So you have to go get tested. Let it be a habit that you have it in your mind. Yeah.
Okay. And then let us move ahead. How does HIV care and treatment look? Ama entail nini for people living with the virus?
For me, I believe HIV treatment and care entails a lot of things. It has many components. It has nutrition in it. So for you to be on care, you have to have an healthy meal, like 3 times a day. You have a fruit. You just keep fit in terms of your nutrition. For the drugs to work also, hata mtu yeyote mgonjwa akiwa lazima akule ndio drugs zifanye kazi. Just the same way, lazima ukule vizuri for the drugs to work. For them to work effectively, the drugs are they're very intense. So you have to eat very well. So unapata time zingine drugs haziwork juu haukuli poa. So you must eat well. Yeah.
Okay, for me in HIV, another thing that we need to, as in another thing that we need to have as a care is the mental health, which is very important, which comes with acceptance. The moment you accept yourself, that is when you're free. You're free, like you have already accepted yourself, like you're positive, you move on. That way, no one will come from the society akuja akushukishe moyo, like, and you already moved on. Yeah, that's my take.
For me, HIV treatment and care entails good adherence. You must adhere to your medication very well. And adherence means taking your medication on time, every day, not missing a single day, and not missing your appointments. You should always, if you have to set an alarm or a reminder on your calendar, just do it. You don't make sure you don't miss your appointments. Take your drugs well, and as they have said, good nutrition, you eat well, and mental health. And then mental health comes with self-acceptance. You have to accept yourself, accept the state that you are in. That way, even people stigmatizing you won't bring you down, because you yourself, you already have a high self-esteem. Your own self-esteem. Yes. And if you have a high self-esteem, all adherence will be easier for you. Yes.
Let me touch on stigmatization, because most of the time it affects girls in the society, even not the girls, even the young women. So unapata maybe someone is positive, the virus akonayo, but unapata the stigmatization is too much, which at the end of the day in a lead to mental health. So what do you do the moments like the community society is afford stigmatization, of which it is too much to handle?
In the society, the stigmatization is there, and once umekuwa stigmatized, these health facilities, they have counselors. You can go approach the counselors. That is the first thing. Yeah. Secondly, if the society, maybe the area you are living, majority wanakustigmatize, you can simply shift for your mental health to yani ukuendelee na hiyo yani kujiaccept, because the moment you stay in an environment where kila mtu anakustigmatize, watakurudisha nyuma, and it can even lead to suicide, because when people who are surrounding you wote wanakurudisha chini. Yeah.
To add on her point, stigma is still there in our community, for facilities, in our churches. but we still have a lot of work to do. That's why Positive Young Men Voices is here. We do sensitization of stigma and discrimination for people living with HIV. Also, you coming out bold to say that I'm positive also will make the one stigmatizing you feel like, okay, amekuja openly, sasa mbona namdiscriminate? They are just humans, like a human being like us. They have they are just living a normal life. Ni ile tu the virus iko inside them, but yeah, it doesn't show that they are any different from all of us. Yeah, so we should just accept them and take them as our brothers and our sisters.
That's a nice talk. Twende break kidogo, and then we come back. We get to know more about naambiwa bado niko na time kidogo, of which ulikuwa umetaja there are several ways za kuprevent, si ndio? Kuna the condoms, kuna what else? The PrEPs. PrEPs? Ama PEPs?
PrEP and PEP.
Okay, what is the difference between PEP and PrEP?
So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis.
Okay.
And then PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis. That's the way it says. Pre-post. So pre is supposed to be taken before exposure or before having intercourse. And then post is after exposure.
So for the pre, like for
Yeah.
So is it like nikisema, is it right for them to take the pre before the intercourse, and then kama wana feel maybe it's not haiko safe wana take your post?
No.
Like they zinakuanga tu, are they just available as end up in the peak?
No, they're not. Okay, yes, they're available in the facilities, but like any other drug, lazima ukuwe assessed.
Okay.
Yeah, you must undergo an assessment for you to for the provider to know if you're eligible or you're not eligible for the drug. So after the assessment, wakiona you are fit to have the drug, they'll give it out to you. But haipeanwi tu mtu yoyote. But and also it depends on the circumstances. So tuseme kama mtu amerepiwa, huyo anafaa apewe post. Yeah. You see, the circumstance has made her to take the post. Yeah. So huwezi enda tu leo tuseme unatembea pale kwa facility unasema nataka PrEP, nipeni PrEP. It can't work like
but
that.
it can also work in this, like person A, let me use person A is HIV positive.
Yeah.
Na ana date person B ama wamepatana na person B na person A na person B apate the virus. No. So the person A can take the PrEP, you are prevent person B from getting it, right?
Yes. Like I just said earlier, the assessment. So we have the discordant couple. So person A and person B are discordant couple. So for one of them to prevent this other from getting infected, anafaa to me a PrEP. You are qualified. Already you automatically qualified to get the PrEP. Yeah. So after the assessment, you explain whatever your need is or why do you want the drug. They'll give it to you. Yeah.
That is a nice conversation. I hope our viewers wanna learn, because we have a lot to discuss on this program of today. To the break and then we come back.
Positive Young Women Voices is a community-based organization whose goal is to humanize adolescent girls and young women in their diversities. PYWV is implementing the We Lead project that is building the capacities of rights holders to champion, influence, and advocate for their sexual reproductive health and rights. Through this project, we will be engaging rights holders in 5 TV shows in partnership with 36 TV Dandora. We invite you to listen, watch, interact, and engage with us as we create a community that is supportive of rights holders' sexual reproductive health and rights. Positive Young Women Voices is a community-based organization whose goal is to humanize adolescent girls and young women in their diversities. PYWV is implementing the We Lead project that is building the capacities of rights holders to champion, influence, and advocate for their sexual reproductive health and rights. Through this project, we will be engaging rights holders in 5 TV shows in partnership with 36 TV Dandora. We invite you to listen, Watch, interact, and engage with us as we create a community that is supportive of right holders' sexual reproductive health and rights. Positive Young Women Voices is a community-based organization whose goal is to humanize adolescent girls and young women in their diversities. PYWV is implementing the We Lead project that is building the capacities of rights holders to champion, influence, and advocate for their sexual